NASCAR has just torn up its own rulebook. For 2026, win and in is dead, and the chase is back, the top 16 drivers, a 10-race playoff, and 0 eliminations. But here is the part nobody is talking about. With only 9 races left in the regular season, not a single driver has clinched a spot, and 3 former champions are currently sitting below the cut line. Before we break down who is in, who is out, and who is fighting for their playoff life, take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because this is one of the tightest playoff pictures NASCAR has produced in years. Let us start with the change that reshaped the season. NASCAR has moved away from win and in, and for 2026, the sport has returned to the chase. The top 16 drivers in the regular season standings advance into a 10-race playoff that runs as a mini-season of its own, and this time there are no eliminations along the way. Once that final stretch begins, every qualifying driver has their points reset. The regular season champion starts at 2,100 points, second place at 2,075, third at 2,065, fourth at 2,060. And the totals continue dropping by 5-point increments down to 2,000 points for the driver seated 16th. There are 9 races remaining before that reset: Sonoma, Chicagoland, Atlanta, North Wilkesboro, Indianapolis, Iowa, Richmond, New Hampshire, and Daytona. And here is the detail that makes everything tense. No driver has clinched a spot yet. Now to the frontrunners who are almost safe. Leading the field is Tyler Reddick, who sits 354 points above the cutoff. The 23XI racing driver had a historic start, becoming the first driver in Cup Series history to win the first 3 races of a season, including the Daytona 500, and he now holds 5 wins on the year. Reflecting on that run, Tyler Reddick said, "Definitely after win 5, it was like, wow, this is crazy." He has not reached victory lane since April, but he is not worried. Unfortunately, since then, we haven't won, but we continue to run strong and perform at a really high level, Tyler Reddick said. We ran second a couple of weeks ago in Pocono and had a shot of winning this past weekend. We're still really fast. Just a couple of this weekends, we haven't got the results. As he put it, you just have to keep the train rolling. Right behind him is Denny Hamlin at 346 points above the line, and the Joe Gibbs racing driver carries 4 wins. Next comes Ryan Blaney of Team Penske at 221 points clear, with just 1 victory but 12 top 10 finishes, the most in the series alongside Reddick. Kyle Larson sits 174 points above the cut line. And although the Hendrick Motorsports driver and defending series champion remains winless, he leads every driver in the sport with 150 stage points. Ty Gibbs is 173 points clear after earning his first career Cup victory this season, with 4 DNFs the main thing holding him back. Chase Elliott rounds out this group at 172 points above the line with 2 wins, the best start to a season in his career. In the lower safe tier sit, Chris Buescher at 138 points clear with consistent finishes despite no race win or stage win all year, Daniel Suarez at 116, and Carson Hocevar at 114 points above the line. With a win, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and no DNFs all year. This is where it gets ugly, the bubble. To understand the pressure, remember the math. The most points a driver can earn in a single race is 76, which means anyone within roughly 100 points of the line is genuinely live. Chase Briscoe of Joe Gibbs Racing sits 69 points above the cut line, still without a win or a stage win, and this has been harder for him than expected. Bubba Wallace is 67 points clear, and the 23XI racing driver has rebounded with 2 runner-up finishes in his last 3 races, taking 3rd at Michigan and 2nd at Naval Base Coronado, though he is still chasing his first win since last season's Brickyard 400. Christopher Bell holds a 60-point cushion, but the Joe Gibbs racing driver is dealing with a broken left wrist. And whether he will need a relief driver to take over after he starts the race at Sonoma is still to be determined. William Byron is 59 points above the line, enduring an uncharacteristically inconsistent season as he still searches for his first win. Now the real drama. The champions below the cut line. Shane van Gisbergen of Trackhouse Racing sits 5 points below the line, and the crash last weekend at Naval Base Coronado badly hurt his position right before a road course where he has a strong chance to win. Joey Logano is 10 points below the cutoff, and the Team Penske driver is a 3-time Cup champion who should never be counted out. Brad Keselowski, the 2012 Cup champion, is 13 points back, which is remarkable considering he was 55 points above the line just 4 races ago before 4 poor finishes dropped him. Just outside the picture are Eric Jones at 10 points clear, Austin Cindric at 8 points above the line, and Ryan Preece at 5 points clear, a driver carrying a chip on his shoulder after a 25-point penalty earlier this year for intentionally wrecking Gibbs. Deeper down sit the long shots. Ross Chastain is 40 points below the line with back-to-back top 10s and improved speed in recent weeks. Zane Smith gained 21 spots on the cut line last week with a 4th-place finish at Naval Base Coronado, leaving him 51 points back. Riley Herbst, thanks to 9 stage points and an 8th-place finish at Coronado, gained 26 points on the cut line last week and now sits 58 points back. Todd Gilliland is 61 points behind, while Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 64 points back and may need to win at Daytona to vault into the field. John Hunter Nemechek is 69 points behind. Austin Dillon of Richard Childress Racing is 97 points back, a genuine threat to win one of the drafting-style races at Atlanta or Daytona, although even a victory might not be enough. That brings us to Sonoma, the wild card that could reshuffle everything. The Toyota Save Mart 350 runs Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT, covering 110 laps and 218.9 miles. This is one of the great equalizers on the schedule because it is a technical 1.99-mile road course featuring 12 turns and roughly 160 feet of elevation change, with limited passing that forces outcomes to be shaped by strategy, fuel windows, and caution timing. The track first hosted the Cup Series in 1989 and has produced some of the sport's most memorable road course finishes. Construction began in 1968, and the facility opened the following year as Sears Point Raceway, later carrying the names Golden State Raceway and Infineon Raceway, before officially becoming Sonoma Raceway in 2012. Speedway Motorsports purchased the facility in 1996 and invested heavily in upgrades, and one of the most significant additions came in 1998 with the creation of The Chute, a high-speed shortcut connecting turns 4 and 7 before Nascar returned to the full-course configuration beginning in 2019. No driver has enjoyed more success here than Hall of Famer Jeff Gordon, who holds the records for most wins with 5, most poles with 5, most top 5s with 14, and most top 10s with 18. 2 drivers arrive hot this weekend. Kyle Larson won here in 2021 and 2024, owns 4 pole awards at the track, and has scored 3 straight top 5 finishes. Chase Elliott holds the best average finish among active drivers at 10.2 and carries 7 career road course victories. Because this is the final road course race of the stretch, the desperation factor is real for drivers like Michael McDowell, who sits 34 points below the line and cannot afford a poor result the rest of the way. Sonoma also carries personal meaning for Tyler Reddick, who is a Northern California native from Corning and treats this race as a homecoming. He arrives seeking his 6th win of the season, and ahead of the weekend he joined Harrison Burton, John Hunter Nemechek, and NASCAR legend Richard Petty for a wine-blending competition. Qualifying takes place Saturday, with the race set for Sunday afternoon. There is a second prize on the line as well, the NASCAR In-Season Challenge. This is a 32-driver single-elimination tournament decided purely by the best finish between paired drivers, played out over 5 races and ending at the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The marquee first-round matchups at Sonoma include top-seeded Tyler Reddick against 32nd-seeded Alex Bowman, 4th-seeded Chase Elliott against Noah Gragson, 6th-seeded Kyle Larson against Riley Herbst, and 11th-seeded William Byron against Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Elliott enters as a heavy favorite against Gragson, with the best career average finish at Sonoma among active drivers. Larson has edged Herbst in all 3 road course races this season. The upset potential remains real, because last year, the 32nd seed Ty Dillon advanced all the way to the finals. All 5 rounds of the challenge will air on TNT, running from Sonoma on June 28 through to the championship matchup at the Brickyard 400 on July 26. For some lighter weekend color, Bubba Wallace will run a Space Jam paint scheme on the number 23 Toyota at Chicagoland on July 5. Celebrating the movie's 30th anniversary and tying back to 23XI racing owner Michael Jordan. Wallace is the only black driver racing full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series, and he will also wear a Space Jam-inspired helmet and fire suit. The Cup Series has not raced at Chicagoland since 2019, where Wallace finished 25th, though he has fared better there in lower series with a 3rd-place finish in 2015 and a 6th-place run in a 2014 Truck Series race. There was also a wine blending event at Vianza Winery, where Harrison Burton's team won with a blend named The Clink. And Tyler Reddick's team finished 2nd with one called Champions Blend, with Richard Petty and John Hunter Nemechek also taking part. Tyler Reddick described the day simply, "It's a nice way to just get together and enjoy each other's company before we get to the racetrack." Here is the one sentence that matters heading into Sunday. A Sonoma win from anyone currently below the line, whether that is Shane Van Gisbergen, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, or Austin Dillon, would detonate the entire bubble, with 8 races still left to run. If this breakdown helped you understand exactly where the 2026 playoff picture stands, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss our full race day coverage from Sonoma.